Hello. Hang on here. There you go. How are you guys? Sorry, a few minutes late. I had to, I promised Luke a chew toy and I had to go find one. Oh, he's not in camera range. He's right here eating his chew toy now. So we're all good. How are you guys? Don't mind me. I'm going to slurp my tea for a few minutes. Hello, VSJ. Hi, human things. How are you? Hi, Totes. Hi, Random. Hello, Crystal. Once again, thank you to Crystal for modding. That's super helpful. Hello, Sai. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Yes, I was running late too. At like 10:58, I was downstairs making tea. So it was a rush at the last minute here. And then I had to run back down to get the dog a dog treat. Oh. You guys having a good Christmas season so far? Assuming you celebrate Christmas. I am. See, look, Andy, we all made our tea. Hello, Andy. Hello, Shar. Shar's officially got one eye on the stream today. Chocolate cherry tart. You have some very interesting teas, Andy, I have to say. If people always ask me what kind of tea I'm drinking, and it's literally always the same answer. I'm drinking PG Tips. It's the only thing I ever drink. I am doing well, however. I'm going to put my tea over here, I think. I have my Christmas stuff 2/3 of the way done. I haven't wrapped much of anything yet, but we do a gift exchange because all of my kids are adults now. So we do gift exchange because it just gets to be too much money, too much hassle. And, I don't want to spend $2,000 on Christmas presents because adults always want more expensive things. So I only have to buy for one of my larger group of kids and kids' spouses. So that's kind of cool. That made Christmas shopping much easier this year. How about you guys? Turmeric tea looks good and is healthy. I've had turmeric tea, but I usually only drink that when I think I'm getting sick. The dog left. He took his treat and left. He doesn't want an audience. I know you have a huge tea stash. I probably have about 6 different kinds of tea. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes talking about tea today. I'll get teased for spending 20 minutes talking about tea. Yeah, it gets way too expensive otherwise, Crystal. I actually do that with my greater family, too. We used to buy for everybody, and it's like, holy crap, I need a special budget. A lot of people have Christmas funds, I guess, but you need a special budget just so you can afford Christmas. I'm going to bring up Discord on my phone just in case anything happens. Anybody tries to get a hold of me, I'll have it here on my phone. So I'll know if, like, for instance, Crystal's trying to tell me, nobody can hear you, or you forgot to turn your face camera off so we could see the game. At any rate, I hope you guys are having a good Christmas. Well, it's not break yet. Your tea cupboard is worth $200 at this point. You do have a problem. Andy buys for close friends and 2 kids. My mom is the only family member I get gifts for. I always purchase. Now, my parents are both gone now. This will be my second Christmas without my dad because he died in July. I always bought for my parents. I always buy. I started to say I'll have to buy for my husband, but obviously I would still buy for my husband. And I always feel weird. Like, for instance, our name draw is random, but I happen to get my daughter. Because the only rule is you can't get your spouse because you're going to buy for your spouse anyway. But I happen to draw my daughter. But it's weird because I'm buying something for my daughter, but I feel funny not buying something for our boys. Well, thank you, Random. My dad's actually been gone 1.5 years now, so it's not like it just happened. But it is a little bit weird, though, when I think about this stuff at Christmas time. It is a little bit weird. Let me adjust this a little bit. I don't think it needs to be quite that high. A little better, maybe. Why are you drawing my name Random? Everybody wants you, Random. What does Hato mean, anyway? Is that a slang word that I'm not familiar with, or just a word that you made up? Or is it a derivative of your name? Crystal buys for her 2 nephews and her niece, and then my mom and stepdad. I don't buy for my siblings, but my fullest friend and I do exchange gifts. Yeah, I have a couple friends with whom I'll probably exchange little things. I don't have a lot of friends that I consider close enough to buy gifts for. That might sound terrible. But I have a couple friends that I'll send things to. Oh, Hado is the nickname my parents call me. Hado. Andy, in my case, when my siblings had so many kids, I had to stop because I couldn't afford it. 10 kids between the 3 of them, I should say. Well, that's what happens too when you start having, blended families and stuff. Then you've got siblings and step siblings, or I have stepchildren, and I have 2 children and 2 stepchildren. I prefer to just call the 4 of them my children because they've been my stepchildren for 24 years now. Hello, Elvin. You look different today. I got a haircut. I didn't actually get a haircut. It's growing out, and so the ends are pushed out because it's growing out, and so rather than let it just stick out, I just did that intentionally. Hey, Sapphic, but thank you for saying I look awesome. Thank you. Oh, no stepkids. They just had that many kids. Well, good on them. My neighbors are a young couple. They're in their 30s, and they have 6 children so far and counting because they believe in letting nature take its course, and they're young, so nature's taking its course. But she is a wonderful mother. So in that case, I think it's a nice thing because she's an incredible mother. I mean, they're a really great couple. When you're bored, I guess, Andy. Well, that's the joke, right, Random? I'm surprised you didn't make that joke. I always wondered what my parents did before the internet during the long, dark, cold winters, and so I couldn't think of anything, so I asked my 21 brothers and sisters. All right, let's start the game up and see if we can find out what remains of Edith Finch. For some reason, I don't know why, the game will put sound into your channel instantly, even though I don't have it set to do that. I haven't figured that part out. So hopefully, I'll have to adjust the sound a bit, I think. Hello, Suzanne. You're welcome to lurk all you want. Well, this is a weird save screen. Oh, it's the divorce papers, that's why. Are we back in the game? Oh, boy, that game comes up quickly. You're just all of a sudden back in the game. Okay, let's get the headset on and switch over to the game. Hold on, I got to fix my camera here because I had it turned off when I was recording something else. There. My dad has 16 brothers and sisters, 17 living children, and 21 if you count miscarriages, no twins. Mamma mia! Mamma mia! That's a family that had a lot of cold winters. Hi, Duchess. How are you? It is good to see you. All right. Can you hear me? And can you hear... The game is very quiet at the moment, but can you hear it? That's the question. There's just a tiny little bit of piano music. Yes, you can hear it. Clearly, VSJ, you can hear it. I both love and hate this house. I mean, I guess that's how you're supposed to feel about it, but with all the deaths, ay. And I think I remember Sai or Sapphic, or I can't remember who it was, telling me last week that they think there's about an hour left of the game. Am I going to have to go out to that island where that old house is? Actually, let me turn this down a little bit because I can... Okay. How's the sound balance? Gregory. That's a terrible painting of Gregory, though, I have to say. 45 minutes? Ah, we'll have to do a lot of chatting then, won't we? Okay, good. Perfect. I particularly wanted to finish this game today because I know that Shar loves it. So I knew he would be anxious for me to be playing it today. So I can see that I can come down that. How do I get up to that? Because I can see that I can slide down that fire pole. Not going to be climbing up it. Okay, does anybody really have any one of these things posted inside their house? It looks like something you'd see in a hotel. Sapphic, I wasn't here during the last new, but I do love this game. Pretty messed up and beautiful. I don't know that it's action. I think Shar likes RPGs. I just think that he's... I know, yeah, he may have the same kind of misconceptions, not misconceptions. My mind's going blank. I can't think of the word I want. He may have the same reservations about it that I have, which is that I super wasn't happy about... Oh, I'm not climbing this. Am I supposed to climb this?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
That's true, Andy. The house is pretty crazy. Oh, I would move up to this loft just because I would love living in this little loft. I guess when your house is that big, it'll be safe. Yeah, that's probably true. Don't mind me drinking my tea, you guys. I haven't had breakfast yet today, which is, I realize, my problem. But I have to keep feeding my stomach something, or you're going to be listening to my stomach growl. So I'm really curious how the end of this
I can't imagine what it was like for her to lose 2 sons after she'd already lost 2 brothers.
Yeah, I can't imagine either. That's probably the nightmare, the absolute ultimate nightmare for any parent.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Did I see the other story on the same floor as the crib? I don't know, but when I slide down the fire pole, I'll look. I might fall asleep because I'm sure this isn't a cussing stream and it's pretty late and early here. Yeah, if you do fall asleep, Sapphic, I'll try not to be loud because it sounds like you need the sleep. "10 ways to teach critical thinking with a homeschool student and teacher. Fly to India." So this is like Dawn Finch. So this is basically just a time capsule. This whole house is a time capsule.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Oh, that's right. He died in the hunting accident. Well... All right, well, let's go down the fire pole. I don't remember all the details in the game, but have you all encountered the dude in the bunker eating canned peaches? Yes, we have. Here's Edith. Blonk. Down the fire pole. Okay, there's another story in here?
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Okay. Sorry, I've got oh, he's flying a kite. Oh, again with the keyboard, I have to do this. There it goes. No, I'm distinctly pushing the left thing right now, so you should be going.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
I love how unnerving the environment becomes before the deaths. That's true. I mean, because it's both beautiful and creepy.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
I get it. Yep, this may not be a custom dream just because it's such a quiet sort of a... I want to say contemplative, but it's not exactly contemplative either because it's kind of creepy. Okay, where's... Am I miss?
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
All right, Gus is unhappy about getting a stepmom. I get it. Come on. It's enough of this. I understand the mechanic.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Okay. Oh, look at that! That's actually pretty cool the way that's done.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Crudely made. Look at the chairs. That's a pretty cool effect. Where am I going with this? Where am I going with all the chairs and the food? Oh, I see.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
You're not supposed to make cushions like that, Crystal. Oh, could you? Chairs in the trees when you were on the beach right near Calvin's swing. This is a beautiful effect, though. I mean, it's a weird story, but it is a beautiful effect, the way they've done this.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Holy crap.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
So I need to cover Lewis and Milton. Well, Sanjay. What happened to Sanjay? And who is Kay? So who have I got left? Sven, but they're off the tree, so does it... Oh, except Kay is attached to the tree. Okay. So we've got a couple left. Well, a kid would be dumb enough, but hopefully their mother wouldn't be dumb enough. Oh, Kay is that drowning baby's mom, Sam's first wife. Okay. Oh, that's right. He divorced her. Or they divorced or something. Just tell me this. Don't tell me how the game goes, because obviously I'm going to find out here shortly, but is this all explained in the end? Okay, we're storing up food. That's the washer and dryer. There's no floor in here. Oh, no, that's the furnace.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of
Oh,
something.
there is a reveal. Okay. Have I already been through here? Am I going backwards? I can't remember. I don't remember seeing this room. Oh, I probably did, because I do remember seeing this balcony, because I came across that, I walked across that branch. Okay, well, I'm going to walk around in here for a minute, just because I don't remember it.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Oh, I do remember these pictures. Okay, so I've clearly been through this room because I've already seen Sam die, right? Sam... I guess I'll go back this way. But I don't know which way to go now, though. It's the problem. I must have been yapping while I was crawling through here, because I don't remember crawling through here. Okay, Gregory I've seen. This was Dawn, who moved out of here and moved up there when her brothers died. And Gus, who we just met, who died at the wedding, at the second wedding of his father. Right? Now the problem is I can only go up from here. Greg, be a baby. Dawn, sweep and trash. Gus, mop my yard. Routine. Jump rope. Jumping jacks 150 times. Push up 100 times. Crunches 100 times. Run to mailbox and back. Okay. Well, now I can only go up, but now there's no way out of that room. So now I am confused. But I went up and there's no way out of that room. I mean, off that loft. Except for down the fire pole, which I already did. Oh, there is. Okay, I'll find it. I'll find it. Oh, out the window. Oh, God. Had I just looked for a minute.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
That was dumb.
Lewis was born a year later.
So Lewis is her brother? Okay, you guys are going to have to put up with me. I realize this is probably going to be annoying for people, but I haven't eaten yet today. And I made cookies last night, so don't mind me just 1 second. Did I slurp? Now I'm talking with my mouth full, but did I slurp? Yep, I made cookies last night. Just simple chocolate chip oatmeal. Okay. Did somebody fall off the balcony right here? And this girl has no business doing this. She's pregnant. My hair stuck to my mouth. Am I going into that little dome room over there? They are the best kind.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
So did the dad fall subject to the curse as well? He's not a Finch.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
What?
And to see kids in the house again.
Notice how Dawn and Sam both ran away from home to escape living in their sister's memorials. I know, right? I mean, it is a family with this much sadness. I kind of get it, but yeah, it's super maudlin, especially when you've got living children left. I like how there's canned salmon absolutely everywhere. Look at the view from up here.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
It is a complete... Oh my God, the view. Orcas Island I don't think is a particularly big island either. I mean, I've been there. I don't remember, but I don't think it's one of the bigger islands. I think it's pretty small.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
We're homeschooling. Well, I hope somebody moved that whatever was in that cage and didn't just leave it there to die.
But it didn't last.
Of course it didn't. Can you imagine though? I mean, okay, setting aside all the deaths, can you imagine if you inherited a house? Oh, excuse me. Can you imagine if you inherited a house like this? How crazy would that be? Especially in a place like
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
it's like an observatory. Or an earthquake in India. Oh, is this the shrine to her husband? Wow. Observation, question, research, hypothesis, experiment, data, conclusion. Can you imagine, though, inheriting a house like this? Orcas is such a beautiful place, too. I mean, obviously all of the Puget Sound islands are gorgeous. Can't get in this room. I mean, I'm sure I can, but yeah, through the window. Oops.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
That's exactly right, Crystal. Especially if your last name is Finch, because then, yeah. Well, without the bills and finances attached, well, of course. It's never good to inherit something that you literally can't afford to keep. That's just a slow descent into depression, seems to me. If you inherit a property that you love, but know that you can't keep because you can't maintain it, that would be tough. Of course, I'll take that over never inheriting anything. What a cool little room. My God, this entire house is a memorial to all of these children. If I were this girl, though, this girl's pregnant, I wouldn't bring my baby here after the history this place has, even though it's gorgeous. Magic paintbrush.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
I do love the music here. It's very reflective, sort of. Oh, did he make a doorway and disappear into it? Did he disappear?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
God, this is the most tragic family. So this boy literally disappeared. I like the way he made his own doorway and disappeared into it. Oh, that happens a lot here, Safi, because people can't afford these big old houses. Do I have to go out a window or... How do I get out of here?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Really? This is an Easter egg to their previous game, Unfinished Swan. He went into a painting world and became a king. That's super interesting. I love imaginative stuff like that. Okay, so I can't get out the door because it's bolt. The first thing I would do, though, is unbolt all these doors. That's for sure.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Look how pretty this would be, though. I mean, you know, okay, it's semi-creepy, but... Yeah, I did look at that on the way in. I don't think I can do anything with it, though. He disappeared. Yeah, I could see that, Sapphic. You know, a lot of times the houses up here, the ones that were built in the late 18 to early 1900s, they're big and they have a lot of stuff going on and they've been split up in, oh God, look how rickety these stairs look. I mean, honestly, I'm 22 weeks pregnant. I want to go walk up those stairs that are, you know, 6 floors off the ground and they look like they're barely attached. Can I not go up these stairs? Surely that's where I'm supposed to go next. Or do I have to Can't I go up those stairs? I think I'm supposed to go up there, aren't I? Yeah, because I have to go up. I have to go finish going to the very top of the house, don't I? Oh, why won't it let me? Oh, it does. It was just needed a little jiggle. Oh my God, look how high up she is.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself.
Is that the mainland over there? That means if that's the mainland, I live just down in that direction.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room.
Hello, Glim. How are you?
Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Sorry, you guys. It's probably rude to be eating on stream. That's probably a giant streamer no-no. Louis. Okay, that goes up, but not much further. Oh, there's no way. I wouldn't trust this. I mean, I realize I'm being an old lady about it, but this girl is pregnant, and this house has been abandoned for years. No way. Gobble, gobble. Hi, Whitey. Well, to be perfectly honest, I just wanted some cookies because I haven't eaten yet today, and I'll get crabby. Nobody wants crabby mommy. Okay, where am I going? Okay, in. We're going into the boat. And we're gonna have Louis's story. I love this bedroom. I love boats, though. I'd live on a boat in 2
Louis's room smelled
seconds
very,
if I could.
very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Edith Finch. Ah, no wonder it smells familiar. Ah, yes, that's a very... No, don't leave. Prepare yourself, boys. Here it comes. What? Why? Because he's a pot smoker? He's even got a giant hookah pipe in here. Look at this. Oh, Louis. This is her brother? Edie's brother? Edith's brother, I should say.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Yeah, well, he's probably so stoned. Look, there's even... Oh, excuse me. Theodore's Quality Cigars. Institute of Psychology.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
Yeah, this would be the world's worst job.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began
God,
to...
is he going to take his hand off? I don't want it. What?
wander.
I don't like the long lead up to these there's something gross happening. Oh, I see what I'm doing.
I
Dirk.
asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
Get some of these fish out of the way. Oh my God, I don't feel a little bit sick. This guy's going to take his hand off and then other bad things are going to happen. God, the mechanic here, this is well done, I must say. Oh God, every time that little guillotine comes down, I cringe.
Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Oh, this would be an absolutely horrible job. I mean, I get it's respectable work. I get that people have to do it. I'm not knocking it, but oh my God. It would be stifling to your brain, though. It can't go that way.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Did Lewis commit suicide? Yeah, no joke, Totes.
But he found something more.
Ah, this is really beautifully done, though, I have to say.
I worried about him then.
Look, he's wearing a robe.
Daydreaming at the cannery.
Oh, this would be easier with a controller.
I spoke with his boss.
Whoops. Which button is going to make him walk straight now?
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
I wouldn't call him focused. Muscle memory, maybe. Oh my God, these are backwards, the keys now, because they have it walking this direction, the keys are backwards.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed
It
very
is hard,
promising
it
at
is.
first.
Takes brain power that I don't always have, but the right hand's doing something completely different than the left hand.
He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Don't fall off the bridge, Lewis.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Sorry, I can't do two things at once. I gotta steer him and do the fish.
and songs for them to play.
Wow.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished.
Okay, well, that's true.
He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Of course he won.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Louisville's gonna run himself aground here if I don't pay
St.
attention.
Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
You think?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
So this is Edith's brother. I would say Edith needs to be very careful.
In
especially-
Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents or radiant rainbows? Well, I'm going for the radiant rainbows. What the hell?
radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her
What? Electric sitar, silver harp. Her silver harp.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
I was actually going to try to dock here, but hopefully I can just stop the ship and it'll be... Okay, good.
Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
No, Lewis, up the stairs, not into the ramp, not into the balcony. I mean, into the railing.
But he was so proud of having created it.
Look, it's completely replaced what he can see in his daily life. What a brilliant mechanic. It has overtaken everything for him. He can't even see his real life anymore. Go away, fish. I'm trying to play a game here.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
It's funny you guys say that because I realize I'm a wimp. I would not be able to eat something that I'd seen alive. So like, I want that fish, and then they kill it and give it to you. I just couldn't do it. Not knocking people who do, just saying. Can't do that stuff. It's like my friend who used to raise goats, and she would butcher the males every year. And then you'd go to her house and she'd serve you goat, and she'd tell you the name of the goat
the real
you were eating.
Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Yeah, maladaptive daydreaming. I've been accused of that when I was in school.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
But is it maladaptive if you're aware and you can still function your life? I mean, I realize there's such a thing. I don't think what I did was maladaptive, but it definitely interfered with my schoolwork sometimes.
It was hard to argue with him.
Yeah, I mean, look at the life he's living. It's so dreary. Yeah, same, Crystal. Yes, it was. But the funny part is, I think I've told a couple people this story before. She rented land, like 8 acres or something, on which she herded these goats. She always kept the females because, there's a reason to keep the females. She only kept like one male for obvious reasons. So she would butcher the males primarily. But she named the goats that she was going to butcher after people she didn't like. I mean, I guess that's one way to work out your stress. So that was always disconcerting. You'd go eat at her house and she'd be like,
Began to forget the world we know.
You're eating Helen right now or whatever. She had a goat named after me as well, but at least in the time I knew her before I moved to Washington, she never butchered that one. She probably did after I left. Oh, look how dreary and awful this looks.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Again, not knocking it. It's honorable work, but well, I probably have done a little bit of that when I was a teenager, not as an adult so much. Oh, can you imagine what this place smells
He began
like?
to despise the man with a royal contempt.
That's interesting. He's walking up on himself. Is he going to chop off his own head? Please don't do that.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
That's funny, Crystal.
The palace would be packed with his companions. including the
No, I know
wise
it's-
Calico
I do know
who
it's a
insisted
coping
on
mechanism.
advising him.
I mean, if you had to live your life the way he is, in some horrible, dreary job that was like literally just muscle
His
memory,
queen waited,
your
holding
mind
his
would go
crown.
other places. That would be normal. I mean, not to this degree.
There was only one thing left to do.
God, whose idea was this game?
Bend down his head.
And receive his crown.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Is she talking to her own baby? Okay. I know, Duchess, right? This game, my God. I think I'm out of tea. Okay, now we have to go. There is no... Is Edith Finch going to kill herself? Because I'm going to be pretty damn upset if she kills herself. Because there's nowhere to go now. Actually, Glim said she played this one, but I think it was... Well, I'm not going to say the name because she says I blame her for everything. Oh, do you hear that? The music's turned a little bit.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Oh, she's walking on the popcorn things.
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
I would never chop you up, Totes. Totes suggested this wonderful game. Actually, it's a very good game. It's just the theme is much sadder than I expected.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
No, 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 no. Ugh. Don't go down the stairs. What a great bedroom for a little kid, although it's dangerously constructed 15 stories above the ground, so maybe not, but it's pretty cool looking. I love the creativity.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Power had been shut off because they were leaving?
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
All right, this is the major room at the
Or
end.
that Edie had a key to it.
But there's candles in here, so clearly.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Yeah, exactly, Sapphic. Excuse me.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
I saw the frog.
That night, the tide went way, way out.
We are walking out to the house. I
It
knew
was
it.
the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
I don't want anything to happen to Edith at the end because she's
I never
pregnant.
thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Uh-oh.
I got turned around.
What am I supposed to be doing here? There was not a big rock when I was walking. Was she going to end up way too far out? I was going to keep
I
walking.
started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Yeah, it is amazing.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
That is too random.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself.
Is this a birth?
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
What? Did she die giving child? Did she die in childbirth? Now I'm upset. What? Ah! Oh, I feel upset. Oh, that's so cute. They did children's pictures. I know. So many unanswered questions. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to think about this game. I don't know what to think about this game. I love that they use children's pictures. Yeah, I don't have a... Let me switch over to... I don't have a problem per se that you don't get all the answers, but you're just left with this sort of overwhelming feeling. Come on, game. You're just left with this sort of overwhelming feeling of doom for the family. I mean, so this boy who's buried his mother died in childbirth. And so is the boy doomed? I mean, you must assume, my hair's a mess. You must assume that the boy is doomed then, I guess. I don't know. What'd you guys think of that? I actually thought, as stories go, that was as good as any book I've read. I mean, that was good. It was less of a game and more of just a straight up story. But it's so... I would like to have had more answers. Like, why was their history so tragic? The story was good. I mean, it was good. I don't know. I have to ponder these things a little bit. That's true. Edie did live to an old age, but Edie basically gave in to the circumstances of her life. She memorialized all of her children. She built, she stayed with the house. I don't know. I mean, is the house cursed? That's the question. Is he doomed? Will he pass the Finch curse on? Was there ever a curse? Did they curse themselves because their fear had made those accidents? That's a good point. Yeah, I think the writers did do a good job. That was an extremely contemplative kind of a game. I'm always assumed it's these stories people were getting reckless, suicidal, paranoid. You did come in right at the end, Cookie. Just finished playing it. And I'm still trying to say how I feel about it. I mean, I think it was for what it is, it's a beautifully done game, for sure. It's definitely a reflective and contemplative type of game. I think the sound design was beautiful. I thought the art design was really well done. It was unrelentingly sad. So it was unrelentingly sad. So I have a little bit of a hard time with that. Yeah, that's a good point, VSJ. The game skirts the line between supernatural and human acts. That's true. I mean, people can bring a lot of doom on themselves, that you believe something to be true and you make it true because you believe it. How massively sad for this family, though. I mean, they lost all of their children, all of them. And Edith dies at, 22, 23 in childbirth? I don't know. It was interesting. Can we concentrate on the parts you enjoyed more than on me making you sad? No, you didn't make me sad. I thought it was an super interesting game, Totes. Really interesting game. I need to sort of think about how I feel about it. I have to put that game into the category of where I put most of my reading, which is it was more of a literary experience than a game. She's 18. Oh my gosh. It doesn't reflect only the women. Probably almost half the stories were about boys. So that boy who's standing at Edith's grave looked to be a boy. I mean, he looked to be. They only show him for a second, only kind of from the top, but he looked to be a boy still. That is true, Sapphic. I think that's true. We really are strange and unique creatures just winging life. Everybody wings life. I mean, shit, I'm 59 years old and I'm still trying to decide what I want to do when I grow up. All of life is winging it. If people tell you they have it figured out, they are lying. They're lying. The only advantage I have over an 18-year-old is when I turn around to look at the road behind me, I have more road available to see. And so I have a broader breadth of experience to draw on. And maybe that helps me in some of my future decisions. That's it. Her kid had his hand in a cast. I did not notice that. The only game I know that's more emotional is To the Moon. I've not heard of that game. But I'll have to look it up. But on that topic, we probably need to figure out, today's Tuesday, so I got to think of what I'm going to do for Thursday. I kind of, between now and Christmas, there's, how many Thursdays between now and Christmas? Because I'd kind of like to do I'd kind of like to do more fun stuff between now and Christmas. Just, because it's the time of year. Let me just look at my calendar. Today's the 13th, so there's only 1, 2, 3. There's like 3. Not very much time left. Let's all remember that Sai suggested the To the Moon game, and it's sadder than this game. I'll have to look at that game, but maybe not right between now and Christmas. They're not trying to get all maudlin for Christmas. But I'm open for suggestions for what to do between now and Christmas. I was thinking it'd be fun to do a couple of co-play games. Co-op play, I guess is a better way to put it. We could do Among Us. I don't know if that would be... Among Us would be fun. Sorry. Among Us would be fun to play, but I don't know if it would be fun on a stream. Dead by Daylight would be fun to play co-op, although it's not exactly themed for the holidays. Cookie has suggested... Oh, you're the second person, unless you are the same person as in my Discord, which just got a different name here. Untitled Goose Game has been suggested, and I think that might be multiplayer. And Random keeps saying to play Halo. I'm only going to play Halo if somebody plays Halo with me. Or we could do a stream at night so that I can play some silly, dumbass game that is a co-op game that we can just laugh and have fun with, in which case it needs to be in the evening so that I can also drink whiskey. Because that's part of partying for me, is to be able to have a little snort of whiskey. But I would be totally down to play Halo at some point. I've never played the Halo series. I've only played about 2 hours of Halo Infinite. But I think that'd be fun. You may have to come online, Halo, at some point of the middle of the night that you're not thrilled with. When Totes plays with us, she literally has to set an alarm and get up in the middle of the night. So that woman has got dedication. Yeah, see, drinking in games, sign me the F up. That's exactly how I feel. I've never played co-op Halo, but I think it would be really fun. How many people can play co-op Halo at one? Is it 4? You guys don't mind kicking ass with your grandma? Yes, I was wrecking. Well, as soon as you said Untitled Goose Game, I'm like, surely there can't be 2 people in my stream recommending the same random game. 4 at least in some of them. The curse, I think, allowed at least one lady to live long enough to expand the Finch family tree, and the deeper you believe, the longer you lived. Edie, Dawn, Walter, Sam. Well, yeah, I have to say, I'm not sure I believe in the idea of a curse. I do believe in the idea of a self-fulfilling sort of a curse. I mean, somebody believes there's a curse. They begin to live their life. I mean, you know how that can affect people. They begin to believe something. They begin to incorporate that belief into the way they live their lives and their future decisions. And pretty soon that mythological belief informs everything they do, and therefore informs everything that comes after them, because it's taken root in their mind so much. I tend to think that that's the case. They came from where? Norway, or a Norwegian country where those kind of beliefs are very strong. I mean, traditionally they might have been. They have that part of the world has a very well-developed mythology. Yeah, co-op Halo actually is a pretty good idea. I should stop tapping on the microphone. That's probably annoying as shit for you guys. It figures, Koala. You pop into stream, and yep, the first thing you say is, "You're the first cusser today, Koala. Congratulations to you. You win the prize." I didn't cuss at all today. Anyway, Koala's on his lunch. You win a cookie. Here, Koala. I'll eat it for you. Hope you like chocolate chip oatmeal. The prize is cookies. I did not. You don't like cookies? Oh, chocolate chip oatmeal. You don't like oatmeal? They're called cowboy cookies, and I love them, especially since they're homemade. All righty. I don't know. I'm going to run out of things to say here unless you want to sit here and watch me drink water and eat chocolate chip cookies. Oh, oatmeal raisin. I hate cooked raisins. Ugh. Ugh, you can have it. Well, I never said I was going to send them to you. Here's your cookie, Crystal. Yes, an actual cookie. I love grapes. I never said I wasn't a hypocrite either. I also don't. I like raisins. I love grapes. I don't like the way raisins swell up like the ends of little old fingers when they're cooked, and then when you crunch, and then when you bite into them, they're mushy and they just pop in your mouth. I don't like cooked cherries. I don't like cooked fruit in food. Except that I do have a pork chop recipe I make that has dried apricots in it. I do like that. I love raisins. I eat raisins all the time. I just don't like them cooked in cookies. Well, for instance, my own when I've been in the shower for a while. No, they just look like, ugh, let's not talk about it. I just don't like cooked raisins. Duck à l'orange is great. All right. Now we're apricots are yuck too. What is wrong with people? Dried apricots are awesome and they're very healthy. I'm old. I have to eat dried fruits. You can guess why. Things you have to eat over 50 for the win. Just kidding. But I do like that kind of stuff. Sapphic, decorate and make it look like a toolkit or toy chest or a custom piggyback with a coin hole. Sapphic, I ate a whole tin of cookies from Denmark before joining this stream. Any suggestions on what I should do with the tin aside from making it a sewing kit? Yeah, that's what usually happens to those tins. Would you eat those shortbread ones? Better for pooping. Would I try a rambutan? Is it like a jackfruit? Have you ever had chermoya? Chermoya is a fruit as well. They're ugly as sin, but they taste good. They make great margaritas too. Oh my God. I will search it up. A rambutan. Let me get into my thing here. A rambutan. Okay, I've seen those. I've seen those in the grocery store. I didn't know that's what they were called. They're hairy. Hang on, I'll show you. They're hairy fruits. Look. That's what they look like. Like little balls, totes. Hairy balls. Oh my God. I need to get off stream because now I'm just getting silly. Okay, let's go back to this. Don't, just forget I said that. That was incredibly juvenile. Should not have said that. Yeah, I would try one. I know, Toads. I'm sorry. Well, were they hairy? Was that a rambutan? Is that what it looks like for you? Maybe they have different names, different places. Chermoya is. I'll show you a chermoya. My sister had an orchard of these for a while. Let's see, chermoya. How do you spell chermoya? I think I might be spelling it wrong. Yo, that's a chermoya. This is what a chermoya looks like. The inside of it is very fleshy. They're not the most attractive fruit in the world, but they're delicacies in certain parts of the world. And they make, if you put them in a blender, they make incredible margaritas. There it is. Yeah, they're good. I used to raid lychee orchards as a teen. You know what? It does look a little bit that way, koala, but the flesh is not like an apple. It's not crisp, crunchy flesh. It's more meaty. I'm not sure how else to describe it. They're more like a mango. The consistency is more like a mango. They taste very good. It's a creamy. They're good. They're hard to peel, but they're good. And then jackfruit, which I had in Hawaii. I'm sure you guys have had jackfruit. You call them attis? Jackfruits are those enormous fruits. If I'm remembering right, yeah. Jackfruit. They are enormous. I mean, you see this picture, but those suckers are they're like this big. They're enormous. They're like giant bowling balls. Oh, I've had star apples too. I don't know that they're called star. Are they called star apples here? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not big on the creamy texture just to eat, koala, but they're good in margaritas. That's why I said you got to put them in a margarita because then it's just tastes like it's like a slushy. I don't like to eat chermoyas just straight off the tree like that. They're super hard to peel, and I don't like that kind of meaty, fleshy kind of consistency. I don't love the consistency of mangoes either, but I like the taste. What's your favorite fruit? Okay, I've never heard of Insones? Is that an L or it's an I? Insones? So delicious. So we used to have them laying around in our yard, but in Jamaica, next to the mangoes. In Germany, they're very expensive due to importing them. Chermoyas, yeah, chermoyas. They're also a delicacy in Japan or somewhere too, because my sister used to have some property that had about an acre of chermoya trees. They're extremely expensive because they have to be hand pollinated. So this crew would come like twice a year, and they would pollinate them, and then when the crop came in, they would harvest the crop, give my sister and her husband like 4 boxes of them, and then take the rest away and sell them overseas. It's an L. I've never heard of making a curry out of jackfruit. I've had jackfruit, but I've never heard of making curry out of it. All right, let me just put the chermoyas away. I don't need that there. I bet you have the sweetest mangoes. Mangoes are good. Okay, what other fruits? What other fruits are you guys into that are weird or unusual? Koala's into raisins, which aren't weird or wonderful, or cooked raisins. So do you not eat chocolate, koala? I don't trust anybody that doesn't eat chocolate. I think that's probably true. A lot of the stuff you get here, it's like strawberries in Washington. Can I just say, there are good strawberries in Washington, but it's not the prime place for growing strawberries. So the season's not long enough. It doesn't stay warm long enough. So the strawberries that we produce up here are like this big. They're really small. They're sweet and lovely strawberries, but they're really small. Well, I'm from Southern California. Down there, the season's much longer. The strawberries are they're like the size of plums. And they're beautiful, thick, beautiful strawberries. But when they ship them up here, they're no good because they've been on a truck for 2 weeks. So they're not good. I eat chocolate. Exactly, Koala. You had me concerned there. You had me concerned there for a minute. I love rhubarb. I have rhubarb in my yard. And I make my husband's absolute favorite pie in the world is strawberry rhubarb pie. I make it probably twice a year. It's an all-day event. Lovely strawberry rhubarb pie with homemade crust. It is good. I mean, I love them. I wish I didn't have to make it because it's fiddly to make, but it's good. We don't get a whole lot of odd fruits this far up north. You can get them in major cities and stuff. That makes sense. You guys probably grow apples up there, though, don't you? Like Washington? It's probably a similar climate. I'm going to stop eating cookies. Oh, I guess because it's too... Yeah, I don't ever buy it because I don't have to buy it. But I do buy the strawberries, though. Because I can't reliably grow enough strawberries. It's too wet. Crystal just ate sushi and a Subway cookie. Game recommendations, Dragon Age Origins or Jackbox for large teams. I have Jackbox. Well, I don't have Jackbox for PC. I mean, I have Jackbox on my Xbox. I haven't played it in a long time. We're all fruitcakes in the end. Isn't that true? Those words are the most true words spoken today. In the end, we're all fruitcakes. We are all fruitcakes, koala. What's Gardic phone? I've not heard that. That's more boring, koala. Pitaya is dragon fruit. Okay, I know I'm familiar with dragon fruit. Oh, okay, so you're quite far north. I'll have to look you up where you are at some point, Crystal. I'm pretty sure I know that the area that you are. I'll have to look it up. I am in the Puget Sound area, right? I have a view of the water right out my window that's right there. So I'm right near Orcas Island where this game just took place. Is weed legal in Canada? You could grow it. I mean, do you have to have a license to even grow it? Cake isn't boring. Fruitcake is... Okay, fruitcake is kind of disgusting. I agree with you. I was going to defend that, but I can't. Especially when you say fruitcake because it's gross. You're on the coast as well. But slightly different coast, Whitey. Slightly different coast. Oh, is it legal in Canada? Okay, well, it's legal here in Washington, too. I don't partake myself, but it is legal. A less pleasant view. You might have a really nice view. I mean, I'm not like waterfront. There's houses between me and the water, but we're on a hillside, so I'm looking right down. I have a good, nice water view. From my bedroom, which is the room next door, back over here, I have a really nice view. One player draws something and the next tries to remember and copy it in a short amount of time. Then same thing with the next player, but way short time. Oh, so it's like telephone, but drawing. Oh, I know it's legal. I know it's legal here. Lunch breaks are for buying weed and eating and harassing you. Well, so far you're 10 for 10, koala. You're just annoyed because I haven't said the F word yet. Have you got me your sound turned on? Turn your sound on so your office mates can hear your stream. I will oblige you. All right, what are you guys making for dinner tonight? And then I'm going to go because my kitchen is an absolute disaster area right now because I had to make an unexpected large dinner last night and I destroyed the kitchen and I haven't cleaned it yet. So that's what I have waiting for me off stream is a giant sink full of dishes. If I say it loud, will your office mates hear it? He doesn't live he's quality control, not koala control. He's quality control. Hi, Beth. How are you? Dinner for me was 2 cucumbers and a bar of chocolate. That's interesting choice of cottage cheese curry tomorrow. Cottage cheese curry. You retracted I saw it too late. I just thinly sliced potatoes, slapped spices on it, baked them in the oven, and then smothered them. That actually sounds really good. Koala is as American as they come. I am excellent. I made an enormous batch of pasta, some Italian name last night. It was basically pasta with Italian sausage. And I cooked the Italian sausage with diced onion, garlic, heavy cream, crushed Roma tomatoes, and white wine, and salt and pepper. And then I mixed all that up together and then put penne noodles with it. And that was dinner. Sent that with my husband to work today because he had a potluck that he told me about last night at like 5:00. I have a potluck tomorrow. And that became my problem. So I had to make him a big dinner to take. So I made a giant batch of that stuff last night. And that's what we're having again tonight. And I don't care if he had it for lunch today. We're having it again tonight. And that's what he gets. Cottage cheese curry. That's enough. Your lunch hour's over, koala. Hydrenalin. Hello. I greet you back. I greet you back. Sort of a doghouse. I'm perfectly happy to make homemade stuff for him to take, but I'm not perfectly happy when I've got a gaming date to play games online and I'm about to go online and I have a science project due tomorrow morning at 8:00. It's the same sort of thing, right? Your kid, I have a report due. I have to write a 10-page report. When's it due? Tomorrow. No, it's like, help me. Actually, his exact text was, help, I have a potluck tomorrow and I have to bring something homemade. Yeah, I made enough for like 8. I made enough to fill a casserole, and then it gave me 2 and then leftovers for today. So that's what we're having today because I got to go down and clean my whole kitchen now. Look at all you domestic totes. Oh, I'll look it up, Sapphic. When I get off stream, I'll go to the Discord and look. Totes is not going to admit that she has a domestic bone in her body. Is that what's happening? Actually, some of Totes' dinners sound good, though, because they're not formal dinners. They're just nice, like, this sounds yummy. I'm going to make this and eat this. I like that idea. Oh, you have 16 minutes left. Enough for me to say the F word a bunch of times, get you in trouble? They are. Leftovers are the best. Let me move this chat over so that I'm closer to the camera. Leftovers are the best. Especially when you aren't the one who had to make the original meal. Then they're really the best. I don't ever get that, though. I do all the cooking. I don't want to say any of my dinners because it might weird you all out. Oh, I think you should definitely tell us now. Definitely should tell us now. Leftover lasagna is unmatched in taste. I absolutely adore lasagna. I also love leftover pizza, and I'll eat it cold right out of the refrigerator. I'll walk around with it, no plate, just out of the refrigerator. Isn't that the way you're supposed to eat pizza? Chicken fried rice I'm making tonight will last for 3 days, so I'm going to have to cook it for the next 2. See, that doesn't work for me, Crystal. First, it never. I have to double it to make it last that long. And by the 3rd day, the man with whom I live will start to complain that he has to eat the same thing 3 days in a row. I personally would eat the same damn thing 3 days in a row. I have no problem with that, but I'll get complaints. I'll get complaints from the peons. Yes, leftover pizza is divine. Prepare your eyeballs while you search some of them up. Yes, leftover pizza. Oh, that's a real big, that's a question. This should be divisive. Favorite toppings on pizza. And do you believe that pineapple belongs on pizza? I'll tell you my favorite kind of pizza. I have 2 favorite pizzas. I know you are dying to hear this. I like chicken and pesto pizza, which is its own whole specialty pizza. I adore like barbecue chicken pizza. But if we're talking traditional pizzas, pepperoni, mushroom, and pineapple. Oh, so good. All right, I'm going to have to look those up. It's a balut. Oh, I am going to have to look that up. Oh, my God. Don't tell me something. Ooh, oh, that's just meat. That almost looks like Oh, Char. I like how Char is willing to chip in for the pepperoni. I mean, pineapple on pizza. Lovely. So, I like artichokes on pizza too. No, pepperoni, sausage, ham, onion, green pepper. Okay, all of that sounds good. The only thing I don't like on pizza, because I despise them in any form, is black olives. Actually, any kind of olive, but black olives on pizza can go to the devil. I have to pick them off of every pizza I ever eat because somebody I know loves them. So dinuguan. That looks almost like beef in a brown gravy. I'm not looking good. No pineapple on pizza, sacrilege. Blasphemy. I've never bothered to even try pineapple. I just evade it. Maybe it's tasty. I don't know what. Oh my God. It looked okay for a second. That does not look like pig anything. Oh, that's disgusting. Disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of things you like to eat, but oh my God. Let's have some pig's blood stew tonight. I know there are things that we eat too that are gross. That actually looks kind of appetizing though. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll show you. I might as well show you guys since I'm whining about it. This doesn't look terrible. Pig's blood stew. Yeah, anything meat. My husband is one of those people that likes like the meat eaters pizzas. You know, oh, it's 5 different kinds of meats. I brought a cardiac defibrillator with me as well. My favorite topping on a pizza is pizza on a pizza. I love pineapple on pizza. I never get to have it. I have so many sacrifices I have to make. Doesn't my life sound hard? I just eat regular meat for iron. You're not like the liver king. You don't like to eat, all the organ. I don't eat organ meats. They just sound gross, especially the liver. The liver is a trash cycler. You know what I mean? The liver detoxifies everything. I don't want to eat liver. I know it's high in iron, but bleh. I don't drink the blood of my enemies yet. Okay, what are the other things that she said? I can't look them up. I mean, you probably named a few of the grossest things you have. Oh, black pudding. Oh, and haggis. I actually like the taste of black pudding and haggis, but I struggle to fully enjoy it knowing what it's made of. Yeah, I don't eat. Well, and I love chorizo. Do you know what chorizo is? I mean, you can get it all over the place in California. I like chorizo and eggs is like the best breakfast, but I try not to think of what's in chorizo. Crystal, we eat black pudding or blood sausage in Newfoundland, and it's made with pig's blood. Sounds gross, but it's so yummy. It sounds gross. It does sound gross. It does sound gross. I know I was thinking I was going to go have some lunch after this because all I've had is those 2 cookies now today, but yeah. I've never had black pudding. And I've never eaten haggis because I knew what haggis was before the first time somebody tried to get me to eat it. And I don't like to eat organs. Like I said, especially liver, because liver is a toxin-ridding organ in your body. And I'm not sure I want to eat something whose entire function throughout its working life was to, filter out poisons and toxins. I know a lot of people like liver, but my father loved liver and onions. Oh God. So my mom would make that for him. And when we were kids, we had to eat it. When she made it, we had to eat it. One time when I was a kid, my mom had my best friend at the time. Her name was Michelle. Michelle came over to spend the night. My mother had a reputation as being a very good cook, which she was, but she decided to experiment and she made spaghetti. And the meat she chose to use was chicken livers. Spaghetti made with chicken livers. It was horrible. And Michelle sat across the dinner table from me that night, just looking daggers at me the whole time because she had to be polite. It was awful. My mom never made it again, though. To her credit, she never made it again. Ugh. All right. It's 12:51. I think that the chit chat has gone on long enough. We've grossed each other out enough. Koala's lunch is over. Fuck you, Koala. His lunch is over. I've made my obligatory swear for the day. Shar has fallen off my favorites list because he doesn't like pineapple. And all in all, I think I've accomplished quite a lot today. So let's get into the Discord and let's talk about what to stream on Thursday and what to stream the rest of the holidays. Because I think we could have some fun. We could have some fun together. I loved your gameplay. It's my favorite game. Oh, I think I would like Halo, actually. Yeah, Char's on the naughty list. But Char likes to be naughty, so he's fine with that. He's a naughty boy. Naughty, naughty. All right, I'm going to go before I say something stupid. Really stupid, I should say. You guys have a great rest of the day. I will stream on Thursday. I got to figure out what to stream. I'm totally willing to stream Halo, but the only version of Halo I own is Halo Infinite, so we'll have to talk about it. Let's talk about it in Discord. And if you're not on the Discord, you need to get there. Random, can I have Char's place then? What, on my naughty list? Have a fantastic rest of the day, you guys. Bye-bye. See you Thursday. Bye-bye.